Captain's log, stardate 5423.4. We are orbiting the planet Gideon, which is still not a member of the United Federation of Planets. It's too bad Gideon isn't cleared for general visitation, Mr. Spock. According to the physiocultural reports submitted to the Federation, it's a virtual paradise.
They have provided us with the coordinates for beam down. 875-020-079.
Mr. Spock?
Mirror Universe Part 2?
Empty universe.
Oh, the empty universe. We should have known something was going to go wrong. I think that was the first time we ever verbally heard him say the coordinates of any place.
Yeah, I was thinking they were just dragging it out.
Scotty.
Stretching for time. Oh no. Bad sign.
Still orbiting Gideon.
That's an interesting one. That's different.
William Shatner finally got what he wants, a one-man show. Me!
Their budget got so low they couldn't afford to pay anyone else.
We didn't even see Bones yet at all.
Yeah. All right, Judd Taylor again. Back to back.
I am alone on the Enterprise. I have searched every area of the ship and still cannot find a trace of the crew.
We've gone from captain's logs to just actual thoughts now.
It is that I suffered a memory lapse, during which time I bruised my arm. It is causing me some irritation.
He got the vaccine.
Gideon is contacting us, Mr. Spock.
Wait, what?
Oh shit, okay.
Aye, sir.
Captain Kirk, this is Ambassador Holden. The Council is still awaiting your arrival.
Captain Kirk was transported down minutes ago.
He never arrived.
Please verify your coordinates.
Am I supposed to remember what the coordinates were? Because I don't.
079.
I think that was them.
Coordinates
right.
confirmed.
But Kirk even brought it up. They typically like confirm after they beam them. Like Spock just didn't do that.
I request permission to beam down to conduct the search for our captain.
Permission denied.
We must acknowledge once and for all that the purpose of diplomacy is to prolong a crisis.
I mean, I just gotta say, thank God they're in this. Like, I'm sure Kirk by himself could have been cool, but oh, okay. But just imagine a whole 50-minute episode of just Kirk.
I'd be interested to see what they did, but...
O'Donna. Yes, my name is O'Donna.
But this is another one of those. Instead of building a set, what if Kirk's just in the Enterprise in a different realm or whatever? Ooh.
What happened before you came here? Try to remember, it's important.
Yes, I was standing in a large auditorium, crowded with people. Pressed in against me, I could hardly breathe. I was fighting for oxygen.
I'm gonna give it 17 minutes. That's how long it's gonna take for them to sleep together.
Starfleet
Oh, damn it.
for the reply.
There's been no responses yet, sir. They insist that we must go through Starfleet channels.
Typical corporate. Oh, you gotta go through these people. Oh, you gotta go through these people.
Diplomats and bureaucrats may function differently, but they achieve exactly the same results.
Nothing.
You must realize that we're not here by accident.
Before I said I wasn't afraid. Now I am.
You know, Kirk's thinking, I've always wanted to have sex on the bridge.
You got about 3 minutes. You got it 3 minutes. It could happen.
As you requested, we made a most thorough search. You may now investigate all the other possibilities and forget about Gideon.
I do like how their screen is like a diamond shape, or like an actual diamond, not a, this diamond, not a gem.
You will therefore transport a member of my staff to your ship. Let us first see if that works.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
709. 709.
And coordinates are never going to be a thing again. just for the use of this one episode.
Mr. Spock, the gentleman from Gideon is here.
Oh, I like that. They had him look around for a second as if he was going to be in the other thing with Kirk.
And I now demand that I be allowed to transport to Gideon as we agreed.
Your request will be taken up at the next full session of Gideon's Council.
Oh my God.
It's in 7 years.
All my life I've dreamed of being alone.
Most people are afraid of being alone.
I only know I'm here. I only know I'm happy.
Well, there you go. 25 minutes. Oh, what the hell?
What the hell was that?
It gotta be one of the weirdest shots in the show.
Whoa!
The faces of people.
Peeping Toms.
Be content.
Content? Be content? Not until I find out what happened to my crew. Are they dead?
I don't know.
Did you kill them so you could have the ship to yourself?
Captain.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so they do know about it.
There will be death.
She just die? Oh, shit.
What?
Imagine me one of those extras.
So do these people just create like a full life-size scale of the interior of the
Yes,
Enterprise?
Captain.
Yeah, I guess so.
We have no need of any of your medicines.
But she's ill.
And we're grateful to you for her illness.
What the fuck?
Guard the captain well. We shall need him for a long time.
What is going on?
I don't know.
They're trying to extract sickness from him? Why would they want that?
Override Federation directives
Oh, here we
in
go.
this matter.
A hapless Federation person.
Permission denied.
Jesus
I wish to
Christ.
state for the record that your decision is completely arbitrary.
So noted.
Nice, Spock.
I feel like everyone on the Enterprise should just start their own fucking government at this point. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, just go rogue.
Your courage gives me great pride.
So she was lying that whole time.
Fortunately, I must violate a direct order from Starfleet.
That's the best possible decision you can make, Spock. I'm with you.
She'll beam down at once. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
All right, which one did they go to?
He went to the first one.
Your report to the Federation was a tissue of lies. You described environmental, physical, cultural conditions.
It's a cool shot.
Death became almost unknown to us.
Oh, they're literally going to kill some of their population off because of the overpopulation.
And let your people learn about the devices to safely prevent conception. The Federation will provide anything you need.
You just need condoms.
We have condoms pulling out. The little
That's
metal
what he
bar
says,
that goes.
pulling out. That's the second one.
We are incapable of destroying or interfering with the creation of that which we love so deeply.
Yet you can kill a young girl.
She hoped you would love her and wish to stay.
It's starting to get a little bit out of hand. Like, fall in love with her in literally the 15 minutes. Like,
So if I got this right, they know the problem, but they're not willing or able to kill people because of tradition. But they're willing to just throw this virus out there and chance that it kills people. Am I getting this right?
yeah, I think he was basically saying, like, they'll make it known that it's up to them. Like, hey, if your life is so horrible that you would rather die of this virus than be alive, then we can give it to you, is what it sounds like. And they're hoping that enough people will just be like, okay.
Scott here, Mr. Spock.
I am speaking to you from the bridge of the Enterprise.
Did Kirk try his communicator when he went down the first time?
Either he had a throwaway line about not having it, or they just never addressed it. I mean, he definitely did not try.
I'm glad that you are here.
I'm sorry, I can't buy into this at all. This is probably the least believable of any romantic interest.
That's saying a lot, because there's been a lot of unbelievable ones.
Your Excellency. Captain, you're looking well.
He just has no reaction to him being there. Damn, taking O'Donna as well. Bro didn't say anything. Just let it happen.
How can you bear to look at me after the way I deceived you?
At least you owe me the privilege of letting me look at you.
Yeah, at least she's owning up to it. I'll give her that. Oh, I like that. Shot of leaving the room was cool.
As crowded as my planet is, I could wish for it to hold one more person. I will miss you, Captain James Kirk.
All right. Yeah, I mean, the episode was fine. I mean, it was fine. It was serviceable. It was just, you know, it was watchable. I watched it. I wasn't, you know. It felt like they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. Like, they wanted to, like, tell this really elaborate story, but the details just kind of fell apart, I think. And, the whole thing of the exact replica of the Enterprise is never proven to be necessary. They didn't have to put it through that whole thing. It's just because they didn't have another set, which is fine. You know, which is fine. It's cool. I enjoyed it. It was an interesting idea. But once they actually figure out what's going on, him needing to be tricked with this identical Enterprise is unnecessary. So, kind of fell flat there. But beyond that, and the kind of the romantic relationship giving me absolutely nothing. The episode was it was serviceable. The writing was good. Judd Taylor, the direction, he had some cool shots. It wasn't like as in your face as the last couple of his have been that I liked, but there was, you know, some neat shots like from under the glass table or some behind walls, close-up shots that were nice. So yeah, it won't be one that I, you know, remember extremely fondly, but it was fine.
Yeah. Besides those few shots that was mentioned, I was going to say that there was nothing specifically creative about the camera work. I mean, besides like those 1 or 2, 3 shots, but I think the last one was just filled with like a bunch of unique different camera angles. But this felt like I got 3 for you. That's it. But I mean, I do appreciate when they try to make a self-contained episode within the Enterprise, but this one, but also it just feels like one of those things just for television. Well, for budget and television's sake to continue a story, because it feels like this. I don't know if this planet is too prideful, but it's like, hey, we have this problem here. I mean, overpopulated, whatever, but it's like, I get it. I wouldn't want to reach out to Starfleet either because they're fucking worthless. A couple things that are irking me, especially like, you know, Spock figuring it out right away and like, oh, the ship's a fake, and he calls, you know, the transporter right away. But I'm replaying the beginning on silent now, and like, yeah, I don't see like Kirk pulling it out and just being like, Kirk's just calling out to him as if they're there, but they're not, instead of just pulling out the thing like, hey, is anyone there? So
we always talk about the lack of continuity with this show. There is one thing that will always be consistent, and that's that Starfleet and the Federation are absolutely useless. So at least they're consistent there. You know, a lot of people will say stuff like, you know, when it comes to like things like that, plot holes, you know, as far as like, oh, why didn't Kirk try to use his communicator, or, you know, why not this, why not that? And, you know, people be like, oh, we'll just like let it go. It's not that important. It's a 60s show, whatever. That's fine, but then it makes it a little bit difficult when they literally throw it in your face. Like, if you're not going to explain why he couldn't use his communicator, then don't have Spock use his communicator to contact Scotty while he's on the duplicate Enterprise. Like, when you literally throw it in our face, the illogical nature of it, it's going to make it a little bit more hard to just kind of, you know, suspend your disbelief, because, you know, as pro wrestling fans, we suspend our disbelief all the time for, you know, this show, and sometimes it just becomes a little bit too much, and then, you know, you have to call it out. I think that was an example of it.
One thing I will appreciate is during like the Zoom call, like it would cut back from our square screen and then cut to their diamond screen like so many times. So like I think around halfway through the episode, it just cuts to the diamond screen, and it's Kirk and the lady. It's like, oh, so that was the reveal. So we were like trained to recognize that diamond screen. Like, oh, okay. So it is a ruse by these people. But also, the person who wrote this must have had a really bad company-wide email, phone call, where wherever that main dude on Gideon, the eyebrows dude, whatever, like, he must have had an experience where like that dude said exactly the same thing as someone in real life.
Yeah,
Sucks.
I definitely love the idea of an episode where it's like Spock's biggest villain, red tape and diplomacy. Like, that really interested me, and that almost became more interesting in the first half than what the Gideon leader ended up doing in the second half of the episode. So, like, at first I was interested. It's like, oh, you have Spock dealing with this diplomacy thing, and the incompetence and the annoyance of other people on the Enterprise, and then who the hell knows what is going on with Kirk in this duplicate Enterprise. But then once they actually mixed together, then that's when it kind of fell off for me. So definitely some stuff I liked in here. The shot of all of the faces being green and popping up on the screen when Kirk and O'Donnell kiss, that was just an interesting, unique shot. Again, that could have led to so many cooler, different twists in the story. What it ends up being is just, a bunch of unself-aware people just walking around. It's like, okay, but I appreciated the effort of the extras.
Yeah, is that supposed to be a representation of their population? Like they're just like these. There's not enough room for them to develop, so they're just it's like, why are they the only ones in those green hoods and everything? Why were they able to peek in on the Enterprise?
Yeah, like I was thinking, why did he have to use his daughter for this whole plan? Couldn't he have just used anybody? But then I was thinking, is everyone else on Gideon just like wearing these fucking outfits and like have no self-awareness? Like, because he's the leader, only him and his daughter are like self-aware enough to actually go through with a plan like this? I don't know.
If his daughter wasn't blonde, white, and attractive, it might have been. He might have used someone else, but it's like, goddamn, lady, daughter, you fit right under Captain Kirk's description.
And I do kind of like the twist of how I truly also believe that she just had amnesia at the beginning and they just plucked a random citizen and gave them amnesia. But then when it's revealed she's deceitful, they don't just drop the storyline. Like when she is cured at the end, she's apologizing to Kirk for lying to him. Like, I'm glad that they acknowledged that, brought that back up, because so many times I feel like things will happen then it's just never mentioned again. So at least there was some... Again, the writing was really good here. This might be a story that could have been, a lot better, just like shaved off a little bit of it, or just like, or even added in a couple of things to keep it a little bit more interesting. But overall, like I said, it's not a bad episode. It was fine.
Yeah, I would like to see it executed by someone else, maybe a different director or something, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think a big thing too is I'm going to be interested when we're watching Next Generation. I think, as much as we love this show, we also sometimes I forget that, like, if we go watch almost any other 60s, late 60s, early 70s TV show, I don't think we would like it at all. Or I'm sure there are some that we would like. That's too broad to say. But, like, I think this is an exception here because of how good it is. So it does fail to the trappings of still being of that time. And once we progress a little bit more in the franchise, we'll no longer have to experience these exact things we're talking about per se. So I'll be interested to see, like, once we're watching stuff from the 90s or 2000s, like what other trappings are they falling into that are different from this, but still they have their own issues. So yeah, you guys let us know what you think of this episode, and anything that we're talking about in particular that you guys disagree with. We'd be interested to know that as well. If it's your first time here, make sure to subscribe, become part of the target audience so you can watch all of Star Trek along with us.
Absolutely. That'll do it for us here at the TA. I'm Alex. This is Josh. We have the target audience. Content's made for absolutely everybody, but things specifically made for us and hopefully for you guys as well. Thank you. We'll see you next time.